You don't even like it?
Not really, no.
Wow. Why do you hate
Those things.
creativity?
Ouch, why do you hate freedom? Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're breaking down our picks for the top 5 and 1 worst. Level 8 Warlock Spells.
Alternative video game. Ranking every 8th level Warlock spell in the game. Because this is all of them.
All right. Anything you want to say about this list?
Yep, this is your Mystic Arcanum. You get to pick one of these, and that you get it forever. Fortunately, most of these are bad, so you won't have that hard of a decision to make. So yeah, great.
Yeah, that's
Easy times.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. There were several contenders for my worst here.
There's like one that's like obviously excellent. There's like 4 that are like ugh. 3 that are like ugh. And then there's 2 that are wow, that's bad.
All right, well, I'll start off this one with the obviously excellent one. Am I correct in that it is Dominate Monster?
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
How would you like to take control of the CR23 Big Bad? This spell's got your back for that. 1 action, concentration up to an hour, it's just yours. You can tell it what to do. It'll obey your commands. You can take finite control of it if you really want to get funky with it. The fact that it lasts an hour means you can just like do things with it. As long as you can keep it from taking damage too. Like if you do this on an enemy spellcaster, it's just yours now. And you can do with that enemy spellcaster as you see fit. It's yucky good.
Using some problematic language here, Sam.
Like what?
You can do things with it.
Oh my god.
Do whatever you see fit.
You're taking like a Kraken. So
yeah, even worse.
Listen, you just use it to like siege a tower or, you know, murder a lot of people on a boat. Nothing weird. Honestly, God, Bob, where is your brain at? It's like you write really silly comedy novels about these kinds of things.
All right. You brought it up.
That's true.
But
this is honestly just like one of the best Saber Dies in the game. Now, it is really expensive, and a lot of lower level spells will do close enough to this effect that you don't necessarily need this. But come on, if you ever dominate like a ancient red dragon, you're gonna feel like king of the world. You're just gonna hop on its back and fly around and get 28 D6 fire damage breath cones all over the place. Like it's nasty good. It's so good. It definitely incentivizes you protecting whatever you dominate, so it doesn't get the subsequent saves. But you know, it's great in combat. It's great out of combat. It's a really solid Saber Die.
Yeah, just. You compare it to something similar, Hold Monster. That's all right. Well, that monster's dead. This one, not dead, but all its friends are dead because you used it against them, and then you can go heal them up and travel the rest of the dungeon or whatever.
Yeah, or you know, if you do need to get it killed afterwards, you just take finite control of it and just like, great, yeet off the cliff, and it's gone forever. Or maybe just like dig down until you can't stop until the hour is over. Right, that's the kind of thing you can do with this thing, and then you don't have to deal with it because it's very far away.
Yeah, this would be great for was it Mold Earth? The cantrip one, not Mold Earth or Move Earth. Which one is it?
The cantrip one?
Yeah.
All right, how much loose? Not important. I'm gonna say yeah. Mold Earth is great with it. Yep, absolutely. Mold Earth is a great spell.
You spend an hour digging a hole straight down, sit him down there,
the earth around,
bury him. Yeah.
Sure. I love synergizing my 8th level Mystic Arcanum with my 1st level cantrip.
That's why I keep arguing. That's not a cosmetic cantrip. That's so many uses.
I'm glad we, for the first time in recorded history, have brought up an example of one of those uses. And it was one of the dumber uses it could possibly be. Okay, so that's the best Warlock 8th level spell, and now we're gonna go to the 5 worst, right? That's what we got left on this list.
I think so. Well, what's your
number 2?
Number 4? Number 2, yes.
I guess this quantifies as something you could consider. I think Maddening Darkness is fine. It's like we start with a 5, maybe a 4. This goes down to like a 3, where it's like, yeah, all right, sure. You get a giant sphere of evil, edgy darkness that does some damage. It's fine.
It's really big, 60-foot radius, but it doesn't do anything to hinder movement, correct?
Yeah, it just makes it dark.
Yeah. It does some damage, but
It kind of scales with your Devil Sight, but I think also regular Dark Vision sees through this. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Oh no, never. As a creature with Dark Vision can't see through it, so you need Devil Sight. Right. So if you're Devil Sight Warlock, I can see this being like, this is a natural fit for my top end play pattern where I can still shoot and see everything into this with no disadvantage, and they have to move twice to get out of this thing, and then I Repelling Blast them back into it, and Bob is happy Repelling Blast World. Then that seems fine. That seems entirely reasonable. I honestly think, like, if I were to put one of these on my sheet, I would ask my DM if I can take any other 8th level spell, and then I would probably take this one. Just because I really don't like the Hold Monster play pattern personally. But I know
I was just thinking, yeah, if I had Devil Sight and Repelling Blast, I'll definitely have Repelling Blast if I'm playing a Warlock. But if I was planning ahead and I knew this was becoming available, I'd probably get Devil Sight and this. I'd probably take this over Dominate Monster just because I like that pattern. And get some again, more use out of my Repelling Blast.
If you can get the 16d8 damage out of it, it'll be fine. It's still an 8th level spell and it's really expensive. Like 16d8 damage for an 8th level spell is close to good enough. 3 rounds definitely is enough damage out of it. So like, just make sure that happens. And you kind of have to jump through them hoops to make sure that happens. But yeah, if you're set up to do it, you can probably reasonably make that happen.
And I mean, like, even if they run the other way, actually no, it's no, Eldritch Blast, 120-foot range. That's the entire range. Never mind.
Unless you need to Eldritch Spear, and then you can shoot even further.
Well, there's an argument for that now.
Sure there isn't. It sure isn't an argument for Eldritch Spear. Don't worry. That was a joke.
All right. Let's see. Are we finished talking about that one? Do you have anything else to say?
88 damage, a 60-foot radius. Like, okay.
Yeah, but like, you're a Warlock though. Eldritch Blast, Repelling Blast, and Devil Sight are things you might reasonably have, and that makes this better.
Yeah, we just talk about both of those things.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's more than meh, in my opinion.
I stand by my meh.
Okay. Let's see.
We've reached the tier of big old question marks.
Figure out which one I want to talk about next. I guess Demiplane.
I like this one probably the most, if I'm gonna be honest. It's just like not a spell. It's just kind of a world building ability. It's my number 4.
Yeah, I mean it's something different. If this is something you need and value, then here's where you can get it.
You don't value this though.
No,
right?
I wouldn't be excited to put this as my only 8th level spell on my Warlock.
That like is honestly nail in the coffin for it. I could see there being wizards that stick this on their sheet, and then the idea is in downtime you're building your own little universe, and then when you're adventuring, you just use your 8th level spell slot on a real spell, and the cost for that is pretty low. You just stuff a spell in your spell book. For Warlocks, you have to cast exactly and only this with your Mystic Arcanum. Nope. I can see this again in a lore perspective. Maybe you got like this big ancient warlock that's rebuilding. Like maybe in this universe, the 9 hells have been destroyed and the celestials are all happy-go-lucky and everything's wonderful. But there's little rumors the demons are coming back, and the big bad is a warlock that's reconstructing hell 130-foot block at a time with Demiplane. Now that is a world building tool, and not even remotely associated with actually putting the spell on your character sheet. So that's why I like it. It's just not good.
Yeah. I don't even like it.
You don't even like it?
Not really, no.
Wow. Why do you hate creativity?
Why do you hate freedom? All right. What's next?
Yeah, that's Demiplane. It's very mid. My number 3 is Feeble Mind, and it's a bad spell. Don't take it. I mean, that means DMs don't do this to players. We have a large Feeble Mind video about that arc, so I don't necessarily want to like double down on all those comments. Go watch the Feeble Mind video. I think that's pretty good. Like, this is miserable. But as a player tool, I guess maybe this is good against a big bad. Most of the time, this just trades for a legendary resistance, which honestly what Dominate Monster does too. But I think the upside Dominate Monster is way higher than the upside of Feeble Mind. And more often than not, I would rather like have control over a big bad, or even like have control over a moderate-sized villain, like a subordinate, like again, like a young dragon or an adult dragon or something to that effect. Some mid-tier monster. I'd rather have that over Feeble Mind again. So,
all right. Well, another problem is that who are trying to use this? Who's your intended target for Feeble Mind?
It's only the like apex villain, right? It's the mastermind. But all of their lackeys, you don't give a crap about using this. They're big brutes. Who gives a crap? Like, oh no, the giant bloodthirsty strength 28 black dragon is now an idiot. It's still hungry. It still knows how to shoot acid.
So I'm thinking like, a wizard or something.
Yeah.
Right? Something with a high intelligence score that you're forcing an intelligence save on. That's not ideal.
Not ideal.
Also, it's really, I mean, the countermeasures to it. If somebody in its party has a greater restoration or heal, then you skipped a turn, I guess.
Yeah, again, I would equate that to like eating a legendary resistance. I would say villains are less likely to have things like greater restoration on hand. Competent villains should, but like an average just cackling maniacal maniac is not likely going to have good aligned clerics that are going to greater rest to them, right? I would advocate for your villains being complex enough that they can have these kinds of like, oh, I've got a potion greater resto on me. Obviously, I've got people that can, lackeys around that can support me in these ways as needed. That's just, I would also say it's not something you should expect all the time for the upper tier villains like that. Just a thought. But you're right, it is easy to dismiss. Ish. There's caveats there. But that's what we dive into the Feeble Mind video for the player perspective.
Just, like I think difficult to land, easy to dismiss, doesn't make for a great combo.
Also, only one you get. So you best hope you're only fighting smart things from here on out. Else this is just going to be like, oh, well, we Feeble Mind the Kraken. What did that do? Well, now it's killing everyone in a dumb fashion instead of a smart fashion. Okay.
All right, my turn. This may surprise you. My last of the good spells. I picked Power Word Stun.
I respect that pick because I also did.
Oh, all right. Wow.
I just assumed you hated Power Word Stun enough.
No, I didn't. Not is this might be the best of the power words.
The 150 hit point threshold is the highest threshold, so that helps it a lot.
Something, and stun, as conditions go, it's not bad.
Is this better than Hold Monster?
No.
A 5th level spell?
No.
It sure is our second worst though.
But it doesn't have to be better than Hold Monster. It just has to be better than Glibness.
It sure does, and it definitely is. This is a spell where if you put this on your character sheet as a warlock, I do think you could expect to get it to work a couple of times and have it be like, oh, that was solid. It got a guaranteed stun. It got around legendary resistance for the first round. If you're talking about a big bad with legendary resistance, you're still in that little, God, I hope this thing actually has less than 150 hit points, because if it's like at 180 something and you throw this off, you're like, oops, bummer. So like, it's still gonna have all the problems that we talk about every time we talk about the power word spells. It's just the threshold being wider makes it easier to hit more often than not. And like, you'll care about the stun if it's got, like, you still have a lot of work to do to get it from 150 to 0. So there is, if it's like over 100 and less than 150, you're pretty happy with this outcome, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, stun is, what's the last one we did? Pain. And
it's just awful.
What
you can still take actions. It slows you by 10 feet and gives you disadvantage on everything.
Okay, stun is a much better condition.
Way better. Losing turns is so much more relevant than getting disadvantage on things.
Still, not excited about this as an 8th level spell. In my
me neither. Spell. Again, there's a 5th level spell that you could upcast to 8th level that does then multi-target paralyzed, which then lets you auto crit. And all of a sudden, there's just like boop, 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 holes. They can be at 600 hit points, and that can work on them. That's way better.
All right, power words suck. That should be a spell. Power words suck. All right.
We should just make a catalog of your dumb spell ideas, and then we'll make them come to life. And we'll print a little silly book of Bob's joke spells, and power word suck will be one of them.
It'll be better than all the other power word spells.
Not a high bar.
No.
But you're right. It off. Everyone knows it. Glibness is the worst. The worst of these. Glibness. This isn't a spell. It's just terrible.
Am I wrong? Is this just a way to get around Zone of Truth?
It doesn't matter if that is the way it is. Okay. So hypothetically, you use Glibness when you need to succeed a lot of DC 30 charisma checks. When are you making that many DC 30 charisma checks as a warlock? You're just not. And you don't, if you're in a situation where you need to get around being truthful, that is a once in a campaign event. And this is the only 8th level spell you have. What are we doing here? What is this trash? This is hot garbage. There's a 3rd level bard feature that gives you a flat 11 on your like persuasion checks. That's a 3rd level feature. And I think it's actually pretty appropriately placed. It's pretty sweet. You're like, oh, I'm a silver tongue. I can do all these big high talking nonsense. I'm consistent at this thing. Glibness is now, all right, my base is 15. I still can't like actually hit DC 40 or anything like that. I'm not getting giant numbers. I'm still getting my +6 from my proficiency bonus, +5 from my charisma, so it's +11. And then 26s, 27s in a good day. That's not a compelling. It's not +15. It is just a flat 15. I don't know, man. If you roll high, it doesn't do anything anyway. So if you're getting like aided and stuff, the odds of you rolling a 15 or higher are already pretty stacked in your favor. Why would you spend an 8th level spell on this? Goodness is bad.
What are we rolling charisma checks for that this is that important?
Again, in that they have to have a DC of like 30.
Right.
Well, it has to be above 25 and under 30 because you're not able to hit 30 easily. You need to still get 20s for that, and it sets it to 15. So like, nothing. We've long left the category of charisma checks being like a huge axis of the game. There's a huge diminishing return on things like negotiations once you are dealing with literal gods and giant cataclysmic events. Like the upper tier and like the top end ending of a campaign, 15th through 20th level, you know the apocalypse is coming, and now you're stopping the apocalypse. And that normally doesn't require convincing, like, you know, the Lord of wherever that on multiple fronts that they need to do these things. I don't know. And
I'm going to get a discount on this pie.
Meanwhile, an actual meteor just crashes into the earth and kills 30 people. But that, oh my god, glibness, it got me there. I rolled a 6, but I got +9 from glibness.
Oh,
glibness is a terrible, truly awful.
Yep. Well,
if you think about it, it maybe looks exciting. I have seen a player take this. I have seen a bard put glibness on their sheet it was like 15th, 16th level. They had it on their sheet for the rest of the campaign. If it was a full 20th level campaign, there were like 8 sessions that came after it. It never got cast.
No.
That's my ringing endorsement for glibness.
Yeah, anything that is easily chosen after a power word spell. That's not a good place to be.
Nope. Well, ranked in order. Dominate Monster, followed by Maddening Darkness, followed by Feeble Mind, followed by Demiplane, followed by however it's done.
Yeah.
And then Glibness is our worst. And that's all the Warlock's 8th level spell slots. We did it. Comment, let us know how you range these things. Maybe I'm way overrating Maddening Darkness. Maybe Glibness is actually the second coming, and I just, despite no one ever finding a way to use it, they just missed something. This should have been excellent. I have a hunch that's not the case, but
I don't think you highly overrated Maddening Darkness. You didn't really seem to care for it too much.
Yeah, it's my number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a crap list.
Yeah, it's bad. Moral of the story, take Dominate Monster?
Yeah, I'll probably still take Maddening Darkness.
Same.
All right.
I'll be disappointed when that happens.
I'll have fun with it. All right. Let us know your opinions. Let us know your lists. Let us know what you think of glibness. And like and subscribe. And thanks for joining. Thank you, Sam. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.